Hello, welcome to episode 8 of the Telecast. Oh my gosh, guys, I have to turn down this thing. I'm having it play back the audio in my headphones so that I can evenly balance everything. Yeah, man, we're getting very produced up in here. I got inspired. I've actually been watching a lot of Kill Tony lately, right? So not only am I going to try and work on my comedy chops, because I was watching that and I was like, hey, I could do that. Yeah, I know, I'm very arrogant and self-important. It's it's kind of obvious if you watch my stuff. I'm just kidding. I'm only a little bit. But yeah, I'm thinking, hey, maybe I should try and produce this podcast a little bit more. We got some really awesome stuff set up here. We got my laptop, which is doing all the live streaming stuff. We are doing this live, not live. In the future, I want to do all my podcasts live if I can. But yeah, we got lighting set up. We got the microphone, taking advantage of all the stuff that I just already use for my videos, right? It only makes sense. So yeah, today, if you've read the title, I actually have a little bit of notes here, but we're going to kind of go off the cuff for this whole thing because I believe in being off the cuff and genuine and stuff or whatever, even though all of my videos are extremely scripted. That is to take advantage of my writing, but again, I might change that up in the future. We'll see. We'll see how this goes. If I can just get by reading notes and stuff, maybe in the future, all of my content will be in podcast format. Who knows? But yeah, if you watched or if you read the title, sorry, I'm getting a little bit mixed up with this audio playback, but if you read the title, then today is the return of reading your comments. It has been forever since we've read some viewer comments, and there are a ton now. Back in the day, I literally would read all of the comments. So there were 3 installments in the original series way back, many years ago, before I even started doing food reviews, really. That's how long ago it was. But yeah, it was 3 episodes, and yeah, I mostly just read. I think I read every single comment, and the reason I had to stop doing the series was because I wasn't getting enough comments. Yeah, it's kind of sad. But I actually did do a little sequel to it called Choosing Views, and I think that might be fun to bring back. But I also like doing comments on the podcast, and people seem to like this podcast. It tends to get I gauge my content. My best content gets, I don't know, my S tier content, best content ever gets above 250K, which for a channel of my size is pretty dang good. You know what I'm saying? And then below that is, between maybe the 10 and 50K range. Those are my good solid, evergreen videos. Those are going to get up maybe over 1 million down the line, way down the line. I'm thinking, many years. And then I got my smaller ones, which I put out it's the smaller topics. Those get anywhere from maybe 800 to 1,500 views. Actually, no, that's not necessarily true. I'll go between 1,000 and 4,000 because they're not as big as some of my more recognizable franchise videos like the JoJo stuff. Shout out to all the JoJo fans. You guys are the ones who are holding this channel together for real. I appreciate that a lot. And that manga is not only continuing to grow, but it is peak. So yeah, why not cover the freaking greatest anime ever, even though I've only seen a handful of mangas and animes, which I will be making good on pretty soon. I'm excited for Usoguri or Usagi, whatever you want to call it. We're getting off topic. Before we get into the comments, I do want to go over some current events, right? But actually, no, wait, here, I want to show you guys this first. So we're so produced that we're actually using the iPad. And this is actually how I do teleprompter stuff for my video essays. But this is how we're going to be reading the comments. And you can tell that I was a graphic design minor in college because I have an iPad, right? I did actually major in media and journalism. But a lot of that, a lot of the video side, a lot of the marketing is a lot of graphic design. So I kind of majored in the minors, if you will. And speaking of majoring in the minors, Ava Chris Tyson, am I right? What's up with that? And Dr. Disrespect and Cody Ko. Seriously, I mean, those are all kind of 3 different situations. I think Dr. Disrespect is the most blatant. how are we gonna say it? Let's just say he's a pedo. I'm pretty sure we can actually. I always say the word pedo. Is that a thing? Is that like a data thing? I always said pedo instead of pedo. But whatever. We'll leave that. Actually, it doesn't matter. People always make fun of me in the comments for reading things wrong. One of the first ones that comes to my mind is Jotaro versus Jotaro. He's a character in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, and people make fun of me for calling him Jotaro. They're like, his name's not Jotaro, bro. It's Jotaro. I'm like, I don't care. You're not making fun of me for calling water, water every other time, or I say pecan and pecan differently every time. So, blow me. Sorry for anybody who thought that was offensive. Yeah, let's move on. So, let's talk about the Ava Chris Tyson thing. That is pretty bad. I don't remember the Sunny V2 video. For those of you who are unaware, Sunny V2 is a journalist, I guess you could call him. He does video essays talking about different public figures and things, who the worst comedian of all time is and who the best YouTuber is and how this person ruined their career. He's one of those, the blank of blank, the rise and fall of blank, the death of blank, the whatever of blank. And that's not, that's not a bad format if you do it really well. And I actually got a lot of my editing chops from him, a lot of his techniques, a lot of his layering and stuff. I think him and game theory taught me the most about editing video essays and things like that. I will give a shout out to Brutal Moose, though. Some of the most creative editing out there on the platform. Really appreciate that. Ian Brutal. I don't know his last name off the top of my head, but a really, really amazing creative content out of that guy. So Ava Chris Tyson, formerly Chris Tyson, is a member of, formerly a member of the Mr. Beast crew. Jeez, man, we're really just removing layers off of this. Formerly a member of the Mr. Beast crew. Chris was one of Mr. Beast's homies, back in the day when Mr. Beast had a lot of his friends involved in things. He would, wrangle them all up and do videos. Then they kind of became like characters, or they kind of did things on the side or helped out here and there because they know the business, obviously, all of them do. Chris went through a transition to become a woman, and that was a big point of controversy because Mr. Beast is, he's like a family-friendly guy, and, he has like outspoken Christian views, which some conflate with conservative views, which some conflate with bigoted views. So it was just this big mess. And basically, Chris ended up just going kind of into the background and doing more stuff on the gaming channel and things like that. It was like, okay, Mr. Beast really kind of dodged a big controversy, I could see a lot of upset parents like, oh, I don't want this transgender person in my kids' content, whatever. It would definitely be a difficult thing to deal with if you were a content creator of that size with that kind of issue. Things seem to be going all right, but I guess things are going really well for Mr. Beast because now he doesn't have to deal with Chris at all, because Chris was liking lolly hentai and stuff on Twitter and was communicating inappropriately with minors and was buying lolly hentai from people and doing a bunch of creepy stuff, not explicitly pedo stuff, but just creepy stuff. So that is really disappointing and upsetting. And, creeps, guys, come on, don't be one. Whether you're a male or a female or you're somewhere in between, just don't be a creep, To actually get serious for a second, we're adults, and it is kind of our obligation. I saw a thing that said it's not your choice to be strong, it's an obligation. So, when you're going to work out and stuff, it's not an extra thing. It's kind of what's expected of you. You're supposed to be strong. If I have kids, I want to protect them. If I have a wife in the future, I want to protect her. And that's not like a gender role thing. I just want to protect her. I want to protect the people in my life. I want to be strong. If I'm the strongest guy in the room, then it is my moral obligation to protect all of the weaker people in the room. You know what I'm saying? So that's, if you apply this logic to this situation, somebody in a position of power like Chris Tyson, it is irresponsible and kind of disappointing that you would, do this kind of stuff, considering how many kids watch your content and how many kids you have and stuff. And again, this all happened in the past. This happened when Chris was like, 20-something years old, so whatever. But still, like, that was on your Twitter, and you probably remembered a lot of that stuff, and it doesn't go away. I mean, how many people have to get canceled before you realize that you have some stuff that's public that's not cool? Okay, let's move on from this. I was going to do a little more talking about Dr. Disrespect and Cody Ko, but those are a little bit older at this point. Cody Ko was doing stuff with Tana Mongoose when she was 17. Allegedly, he knew she was 17 and still did stuff anyway when he was like 25. That's not cool, man. Not cool. She's underage, man. We have those boundaries in place for a reason. Even if she was 17, which is close to 18. Closer to 18 than 12. Dr. Disrespect, that story's kind of played out a little bit. Bro was trying to meet up with a fan, allegedly. So, it didn't really deny any of the claims made against him and just kind of bailed, just kind of jumped ship. You know what I'm saying? If somebody ever accused me of this kind of stuff, I would come out and be brutally honest. The second that somebody accused me of something, even if it was a little shady or something, I have not done anything that would get me in trouble. But just say, for example, just say a fan messaged me and was talking to me, and I was like, yo, totally normal conversation. The fan, was like underage or something, and people were like, oh, why are you talking to an underage fan? I would literally just come out and be like, hey guys, like, it's this and this, and it's just a good lesson in, if there's nothing wrong, then you shouldn't have to hide anything. If you didn't do anything wrong, then it should be no big deal. So if it's a big deal, then there's obviously something that went wrong. We are, how many minutes? We're 10 minutes into the podcast. Let's jump on to oh, geez, man. I didn't realize I had such a controversial opening. So I will be, in my notes, I only have a few more things listed, and one of them is assassination with a question mark. So let's read some comments first and then get to the assassination attempt on Donald Trump. What the heck, guys? What's going on with that? I don't know. I'll talk about it to the best of my ability. I don't know. Okay, whatever. I got some comments here. So I organized them by sub count greater than 100,000 because I'm very arrogant and self-righteous. I want to see who's popular, who likes me, and that'll help me validate myself. So what? Snook YT said, great video. Awesome to see other small creators in the community. Snook YT is no longer a small creator, as it seems. This was on my South Park social media video. I went back and watched that, and I had some good points in there. If you're interested in watching that, that video goes over, I'm going to readjust my seating here because this is a podcast, damn it, we should be comfortable. That video goes over how South Park kind of did like commentary on social media and how people are so obsessed with labeling themselves because there's such like an identity crisis. People don't know who they are or what their place is in the world. People are always worried about what people think of them and all this stuff, and social media causes people to like live in the past. This is extra stuff. I'm going to cover this topic again in a future video, but this basically just focused on how people label themselves, to feel like they're part of something. People label themselves with all kinds of stuff, the main thing was political stuff. People say, oh, I'm this, I'm this, I'm this, and they use that to kind of create teams and pit people against each other, and it's just not cool. I personally, something like the two-party system I think is bad because it causes people to look at a Republican or a Democrat and say, you are this and this and this. Somebody in the comments can expand on this, but I heard somebody say, maybe it was on Joe Rogan or something, but if I know your stance on guns, then I know your stance on immigration, on abortion, on this and this and this. And it's like, come on, guys. Like, people are more nuanced than that. We shouldn't be assuming things about each other, and we shouldn't be forcing ourselves to make opinions on things that we're not educated about. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't know. Just learn things for yourself, man. Just don't listen to what I have to say or what anybody else has to say. Well, okay, that's wrong. Listen to what people have to say, but make your own opinions. You shouldn't agree with everybody. Seriously. You should totally not agree with everybody that you listen to online. It's really dangerous. Okay, the next one. Now, this is actually a really, really big deal for me personally. Michael Superbacker. That is right. The Michael Superbacker. I don't know if you could see this. I'm going to zoom in on it if I can. Nope, I can't. That's okay. Michael Superbacker, the Superbacker of the Air Umbrella, ally to Alan Pan and the YouTube brigade of engineers and such. He commented and said, "Hey Luke, cool video. I'm a fairly new subscriber. I wonder if this will make it in reading your comments number 4. That was on one of my short videos for a little bit of time before I started doing video essays. I was making short little commentary videos, kind of like Penguin Z0 videos, but like 2-3 minutes long, and those didn't really work out. One of them did, but not where I'm at my best. So I just kind of unlisted some of those. They were clouding up the pipeline there, getting suggested to people who probably weren't going to watch it, and it was messing with my algorithm. In the future, I do intend on publicly publicizing everything that I ever posted, but for now, while I'm kind of calculating my growth, I'm going to keep it private. So Michael Superbacker, this is technically in reading your comments number 4, so I didn't let you down, man. Sweet. Love that. Low Level Lemmy, the brilliance of the video thumbnail. Wait, the brilliance of the thumbnail you made. Yeah, that was also on one of my shorter videos. And Metas. Yeah, Metas. Man, dude's been on my... He's been commenting on my stuff here and there. Metas, man, you got to come on the pod at some time, man. Seriously. Now we're getting more produced. And once this podcast is kind of rolling, right now it's kind of lurching. You know what I'm saying? Once this podcast gets really rolling, which should be in maybe 1 or 2 episodes, yeah, dude, come on the podcast. We can shoot the shit about JoJo, man. Let's see what we got going on here. Now we're getting into into just the regular old comments. I'm gonna scroll back quite a bit because I do want to find some hate comments. I love responding to hate comments, and to be totally honest, they do hurt a little bit when people insult me or whatever. But I don't really get. I don't really emotionally react to comments unless they are just like written by some sniveling little teenager who just wants attention. Just commenting on my video to get the top comments, and it's like, dude, it's like you're trying to get clout in my comment section by criticizing me. If this video didn't exist, you wouldn't have a platform at all to comment on. So it's kind of like trying to be the king of Earth to defeat God. And it's like, dude, like, you're criticizing God. Like, at any moment, he could just throw a mountain on top of you and you'd never be heard from again. Your family could go into generations of suffering and labor, and it would be all your fault. Except in this case, it is me just deleting your comment because my feelings were hurt. Okay, let's see what we're doing. Dude, I used to have that shirt. It's from Hot Topic, right? Oh yeah, that was my Dio shirt. It is from Hot Topic, and you can make fun of me for shopping at Hot Topic. I guess I do shop there. You don't have to buy something all the time to be considered a shopper of a place. But yeah, they got cool t-shirts sometimes. If I'm ever in like the outlets, like the Limerick outlets in Philly, shout out to all my Philadelphians. Yeah, it's a cool place. And they got some decent shirts. Let's see what else we got here. You kind of look like Andrew Eubanks. Okay. I think it's time we address the Andrew Alex Eubanks thing on this channel. I am actually going to pull up a picture of this guy for all of the people watching the podcast. Let's see what we're doing here. Alex Eubanks. I'm going to look up Alex Eubanks because people, I cannot express how many times people have said I look like this guy. And he does have long hair, which I have from time to time, but I don't know. I guess I agree. I think I kind of look like him. I think he's got some weird eye to jaw ratio type of deal that I have. All right, I need to shut up and just start doing this. Did I save that to my desktop? Please tell me I did. What is this? No, it was a JPEG. No, it was a JPEG. Come on. View. Let's see. Yeah, this guy, he works out a lot. I also work out a lot. Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, everybody watching the pod right now. This guy right here. I think, I don't know. Like I said, I think the jaw, the mouth and jaw and eyes are really the biggest thing. And the distance from the eyebrows to the eyes possibly as well. I think we both have that kind of T shape to our face. He is a lot more muscular than I am. You know what? Am I going to flex? No, I'm not going to flex. We'll save that for another day. I don't know. In some lighting, I would say yes. In other lighting, I would say most certainly not. You be the judge. Do I look like Alex Eubanks or not? Should we ask him on the pod? Sure. Let's go on this podcast that only has a few hundred views and isn't even on Spotify. Let's see. Love the Zelda music in the background that reflects what you're talking about. I appreciate that. I am a big Zelda nerd. Actually, let me right here, man. Check this out. Got my gold copy of Majora's Mask. My favorite game. It's between this and Wind Waker. I love both of those games. And you know what? I actually have Jeez, man, I'm such a nerd. I actually got a Wind Waker strategy guide at Too Many Games. Check that out, man. It's supposed to come with a map, giant poster map thing, but it did not because this thing is extremely old. But yeah, it literally has an entire guide to Wind Waker. So no internet needed. For those of you who have ever played through a Zelda game, you know how painful it is to look up guides on the internet with all the ads and saving your page and trying to see what it means when it does certain things. This is just amazing. And it's a physical piece of media. I'm a big proponent, if that's the right word. I don't want to sound like an idiot. I'm a big advocate for physical media. So when the world inevitably goes to crap, I will have a library of assets. Man. And that is how I justify my hoarding. Next one. I dare you to make a video about particles. Yeah, I mean, this was on the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure Explains Everything video. Yeah, that video was kind of like a schizo rant, but fear not, there will be a sequel. There will be. We're going to be talking about all kinds of stuff just to give the podcast listeners an exclusive look at what we're going to be talking about. One big thing is, what are they called? Plasmoids? Like torus magnetic plasma. Okay, let me start out with this. There's an engine that is being developed by a group of really smart scientists out of Australia, and what it does is it uses ionized gas infused in water to generate bubbles that collapse symmetrically, and it's so much pressure and the charge is so specific on this ionized gas that it creates like 10 micron wide plasmoid balls. And these things are generated, sucked through, and charged up through this. They call it a thunderstorm generator because it uses the same kind of effect as a thunderstorm. And it uses those plasmoids dispersing their charge to power a combustion engine, and it's really cool. But there's a lot of weird properties to those little plasmoid balls. Some are saying that they dilate time, they accelerate the what is it? It transmutates, whatever. It turns carbon into hydrogen and oxygen, apparently. I think I'm getting those details right. But it accelerates the rate of carbon decay. It puts carbon through 5 to 6 half-lives and destroys it. It sucks in all of the parts of it and spits out new elements. It's kind of crazy how that whole thing works. So there's all kinds of cool stuff with that and how it relates to what is talked about in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. So that's your little taste. There's a lot more to it than just that. But yeah, I mean, bubbles and toruses and all kinds of cool stuff, man. You guys are going to love that. Except for this guy. Mike Shakur says, "What the F are you talking about? My ADHD brain combined with your ADHD script is too chaotic. Try to make it more structured, maybe. Up to you. Not my cup of tea." Fair point, Mike Shakur, 7446. I've actually had multiple comments criticizing the structure of my videos, saying that they're not very structured. And I don't know. The fact that it's only a handful of people makes me think that it's not a super huge deal. I don't know. I try to be very direct with how I communicate things, but I can see how leaving out a few holes would collapse the entire thing, much like putting a few sticks of dynamite on some crucial points of a bridge would collapse the entire bridge. So, yeah, fair point. I will take that one. That is not a hate comment. That is a legitimate criticism, even though it has strong language and calls me ADHD. You should check out Terrence Howard. I did check out Terrence Howard after I made that video. I actually didn't watch that until very recently. And, yeah, he's got some cool stuff. I'm kind of new to the whole crazy, pseudo-spiritual science, physics stuff. I don't know. He's got some cool stuff. Some of it just is a little confusing. But some of it is cool. He pulls from a lot of really interesting places that I've been trying to explore. So, yeah. All fueling a sequel to that JoJo video. Let's see. This was bloody great, but did anyone hear a constant TV static whenever Luke was talking? Yeah, that was the quality of my mic, and you will probably hear that in this video as well, because I have an issue. I have an undiagnosed illness. Not illness, I guess it's a condition. It is called, I need a fan on me at all times. Basically, even if I'm sitting here, we're almost a half hour into this podcast, man. We are rolling. If I don't have some kind of like airflow on me, I sweat like crazy. So when I sleep, I need like a fan on me. When I'm sitting down at a desk, I need to like have some airflow going. And when I do a podcast, I, kind of need to have like a fan on or something. That video in particular, I didn't have the greatest microphone setup, so that was my fault, and it hurts me because I'm such a perfectionist when it comes to video quality. But there are some things I just have to compromise on. So this video, for example, I have a fan across the room, so if you hear any kind of low humming, it is probably that fan blowing on me so that I don't sweat my balls off while I'm trying to sit here and talk. I also have a nice cold drink. What are you drinking today, Luke? It is not alcoholic. Even though I think that would be fun to do, like to drink a can of beer or something over the course of a podcast, loosen up my lips a little bit. But no, this is just lemonade. And yeah, anybody, you can tell if a video was recorded in my room, in my bedroom at home, because there's like this hissing, like jet engine sound that comes out of my air conditioner. The one in my room and the one in my parents' room both do that. And it is so loud. It is insane. So I have to turn off the AC whenever I record a video in here. So for my how AI is changing the YouTube meta video, that one had me sweating like crazy in it. And what else did I even record in here? Did I record a JoJo video? I did. Yeah, you can see me start to sweat over the course of the video. Hopefully that will be solved in the future. I am potentially getting a new job soon. I hope I am. Jeez, man, I need to work. My summer internship is coming to a close, and I had a job offer that fell through, and I don't know. I'm applying to places here and in the area where I went to school, so that will be interesting to see. If I get my own place, then there will be a lot more freedom to do videos, and depending on the job I get, a lot more freedom to do YouTube. Whatever. So yeah, we're getting a little off of the comments here, but let's see. Let's see. We need to bring back horses. I think you meant we need to make bicycling infrastructure safer and public transport efficient. If my bike breaks a chain, I don't have to replace the whole bike. If my horse so much as stubs their toe, they might go lame. This is an interesting point. So I made an argument that we should bring back horses. Now, this was obviously kind of a Hail Mary because obviously our infrastructure is not set up for horses these days. And back in the day, people would invest money in animals and things like that. You would buy chickens and cows and things with the intent of getting, lots of eggs and milk out of them. You wouldn't have to buy groceries as often. You would also have to eat like a million different kinds of cheese all the time. But hey, man, I mean, I wouldn't complain about that, actually. The eggs might get a little boring, but the cheese, I don't think so. So my argument was that horses are an investment, maybe they're not good for long distances, but if you need to go to the store or you need to do this and this, you have a horse, and if you treat it like a pet, you're more likely to take care of it, versus a car that you would not necessarily take care of. There's been some crap that has been scraping off the bottom of my car for quite a while now. I bent it back up, but it's only a matter of time before it comes back down. Versus a horse, if there was something hanging off of my horse, something hanging off, dragging the ground. I could see that maybe going away within even a couple minutes, man. All right. So, what are we commenting on public transportation? Yeah, there was a bus that went from my area to New York, which is gone. So ever since then, it has been hard for me to get up to New York, even though I actually like visiting New York City. Cool place. But horse would not get me there. But as Alex Sears 4875 says, maybe a train would, or maybe another bus would. But yeah, basically, I wasn't actually being serious with the horse thing. I kind of was, but I kind of wasn't, because the things that we spend money on these days, we kind of need to. You kind of need to go to the grocery store to get groceries. You kind of need to, it's completely unrealistic to get all of your goods at a farmer's market. Unless you live in an area where that is the norm. And in those areas where that's the norm, like where the Amish live and stuff, they spend their money on things that allow them to spend money on horses and things like that for their infrastructure. So it's really, you're kind of at the mercy of the world that you live in, unfortunately. And, that's not a choice that we get to make. We're born and we got to kind of work with what we got. Let's see. Great. Now tell me what to do with this information. If I want to become a better person, do I strive to be like a Joestar? I want to change the world, but I'm not powerful and smart like Giorno. I think I replied to this one. I did. Basically, one _pump with a Dragon Ball's profile picture. That is sick. If you want to change the world, you just got to be a good influence on other people, and you just got to do the right thing. It is literally as simple as that. You got to be nice to other people. You got to be understanding, caring, loving. You got to treat your kids right. You got to treat your family right. You got to treat your friends and associates right. You got to do the right thing, because if you're always doing the right thing, then you never feel like you're not. A lot of people are, they feel like they're not good people, or they feel like they're unlikable. And maybe it's because you're doing bad things, or you're not, you're doing things that people don't like. So just be a nice, kind person, and the only people who are going to hold that against you are angry, sad people. And by being a good, positive influence, maybe you can change them. I don't know. It's one of those things where it kind of starts with one person. Just being a good influence in general is crazy, man. I try to do that with this channel. It's not like, I don't know. It's one of the things. I got a few pillars that kind of hold up my channel and keep me motivated. And one of them is, I want to be a good role model, a good influence. I know how to make content. I know how to record stuff. I know how to set up lighting and edit and produce. I know the YouTube game and stuff, so why not do a little good with it, I'm not going to go blow all my money on drugs and hookers and stuff, so I may as well, use my influence for good and, I don't know, donate some of my money and stuff like that. Let's see. Kiro the Driver, 8714. 43 million in debt, and all I got was this crappy video. This recording is saved for your noble efforts. Stay free, man. Sweet. I appreciate that. 43 million in debt. Was that something that I think I put that in the video. I said 30 trillion in debt, because our government is in debt. To who? You can find that out for yourself. Hidораkai 4758. Nice Tame Impala poster you got there in the back. Tame Impala poster, for those watching the pod, is right there. It is right there. It is sick. Like Tame Impala. Good guy. Let's see. Let's find some more things. Be careful trying to learn from AI. Often, especially on topics that are not widely known, with great confidence, it says things that are completely wrong. Very true, Benny9908. Be careful what you learn from AI. However, I apply the Wikipedia principle. Don't trust Wikipedia, right? Don't trust it at face value. Don't trust, a fandom wiki or whatever. When I do like videos on pop culture stuff, you don't trust those necessarily. You use them as like jumping off points. You trust their sources, right? So AI gives me a basic summary, but I say, hey AI, I'm just going to go in your closet real quick and just take all of your sources. Thanks, bye. And then guess what? I got a bunch of reliable sources and stuff. So hell yeah, I recommend doing that. Wikipedia it used to be my way of doing essays. I'd go on Wikipedia, I'd steal all their sources, cite them all. They're already written out. They're already cited on that page. Now that AI is a thing, combine both of those, man. Use AI to get sources and cite things for you. It's kind of a hack. Let's see. Least autistic JoJo fan is what I got called. Thank you. Let's see. What else do we got? Let's see. What do we got? I'm trying to find some interesting comments, guys. The wait'll be worth it. Tame Impala poster, thank you. The golden ratio is a toroid. This guy gets it. Signs from the Vine. Exactly right, dude. You just got yourself a like. Let's see. Can you cover the film I Saw the TV Glow? I don't know anything about that, but let's look it up right now. I Saw the TV Glow. Alrighty, you rabbit. I Saw the TV Glow is a 2024 horror drama. Let's see. Challenge is what binds us to our realities, our choices we actively make. Very true. I like that. What else do we got? Showtimes. It is showing in not close to me. Two teenagers bond over their love of a supernatural TV show, but it is mysteriously canceled. Anything else? IMDb? No. I don't know. It looks cool. Sounds cool. It's got... Hey, wait a second. A glowing pink TV. Kind of looks like it might be ripping my channel off. Maybe. Just a little bit. There's an ending that I don't want to get spoiled. I don't know. It looks pretty cool. It looks very 2020s crazy colors and vibes and things like that, which, I mean, again, if you've seen my channel, you can check out. Let's see. All right, a whole lot of nothing. Let's look on the Wikipedia page. Written by Jane Schoenbrunn. It stars Justice Smith and Bridget Lundy Payne with Helena Howard, Lindsay Jordan, Connor O'Malley, Emma Portner. Nobody cares. Let's get to the plot. 1996, Owen, an isolated 7th grader, meets Maddie, a 9th grader, when he notices her reading an episode guide for the young adult show The Pink Opaque. The show follows teenagers Isabel and Tara as they use their psychic connections to fight monsters of the week sent by the big bad, Mr. Melancholy. Kind of sounds like JoJo. Owen sneaks over to Maddie's to watch an episode with her and her friend Amanda, finding himself captivated by it. 2 years later, Owen's mother is terminally ill. He's unable to watch the show, and his father says that the show is for girls. So Maddie tapes it and shows it to him later. Maddie reveals that she's a lesbian and that she has been ostracized at school. Owen expresses that he's uncertain with his sexuality. Owen notices Maddie crying. Maddie is going to run away, and Owen, he stays instead of running away. Maddie goes missing, and the show is canceled. So it's kind of like a mystery type of thing. Teen drama and mystery. Sounds cool. I will be checking that out. Thank you. Who said that? Nunez 9727. As an Applebee's employee, I feel attacked, but also heard for the first time. I like Applebee's, and I love Dollaritas. So shout out to all my Applebee's workers out there. Yeah, I could see myself marrying an Applebee's waitress. Let's see. It's giving I can't let go of the past. Yeah, that's something that I struggle with, but you know what? Everybody else struggles with it. And social media is bad for letting go of the past, to get back on that. You know, you see all these people that you used to hang out with and stuff, and it's like, man, I want to go back, but it's like, dude, you got so much in your own life right now to deal with, so don't live in the past. Don't live in the future. Live in the here and now, baby. Let's see. Here's a compliment from Emperor Lelouch 5696. Wowee, when I first saw the title and thumbnail, I thought maybe there'd be some connection to Terrence Howard and his discoveries on the Flower of Life, Walter Russell's Universal 1, and Tesla, but this is even more of a treat than I thought. I absolutely love your analysis on all the connections between the different parts and how there's real-world things that have been going on and still are going on. I highly recommend checking out that Joe Rogan episode with Terrence Howard. I think it'll blow your mind. It did not necessarily blow my mind. Actually, it kind of did. I mean, the thing is, my mind was already blown when I was writing this video. So, when I was writing the JoJo Explains Everything video. So, yeah. I mean, I'm always seeking new levels of mind-blowedness. And Actually, you know what? I think it was the part 2 with Terrence Howard and what's his name? Eric Weinstein. Weinstein? Jeez, I don't even know, dude. I don't know, dude. I thought that was pretty cool. But it's put me on a lot of different things that my mind is being blown with all kinds of different things. So thank you. What is it? Thank you, Emperor Lelouch. Very cool. I did take your suggestion. Let's see. Actually, you know what? Before we move on any further, I'm actually going to start taking comments from specific videos. But before we move on, let's talk about the assassination, right? I said I was going to, and we're 40 minutes in. The assassination on Donald Trump. Crazy. He wasn't actually assassinated. It was an assassination attempt by that kid up on the roof. Yeah, I don't know, dude. That was kind of nuts. Do I think it was a conspiracy? I can't say. I mean, that kid, there's some suspicious stuff people have pointed out connecting to that kid, connected to him, climbing all around, people noticing him. They said that he was a threat, but they didn't do anything about him or something like that. I don't know. Basically, here's my take on it. So, Kimberly Cheadle, the director of the Secret Service, had a hearing. They were asking her all kinds of questions, like, why didn't you provide extra protection? Did you know about this kid and not do anything about it? Was this a failure? All this stuff. And she was just like giving all these non-answers. She was like, I have to get back to you on that. And it's like, to me, there's two possibilities, right? You either knew or you didn't know. If you didn't know, then you're stupid and you're bad at your job and you should be fired. If you did know, then there was some kind of something going on, if it was planned by a foreign or domestic threat, either way, I think revealing who did it, whether it was China or Russia or, someone in the Middle East or someone in the, what is that? Someone in Eastern Europe or whatever, or somebody domestic, like some kind of organization, revealing who did it would cause a lot of issues because it would, the news kind of has to control the base level narrative, when it comes to things like wars. For the past, over 100 years, we've been involved in wars and stuff, and keeping the public, keeping like a baseline opinion about it or keeping like a baseline level fact, even if a bunch of people are saying it's bad, like Vietnam, for example. How many people were saying that was bad? A lot of people, maybe even more people than those who were supporting it, but keeping kind of like a base level thing, keeping like, I don't know if this is making any sense, but keeping like a baseline narrative, you kind of got to protect that as much as you can. So, there's all this stuff going on in the Middle East, all this stuff in Eastern Europe, all this stuff between the political parties here. So, no matter who it was who did it, if it was a bigger organization, it would cause a lot of problems and get things to be a little bit out of control. But if it was just this kid doing it, then what? Then why? Why did it happen? Why did it happen? Like, you're going to let a former president almost get shot. Like, he could have had his brains blown out, and that video would have been all over Twitter. Like, we could have, that would be memed to death. Those memes would still be going around like crazy. Obviously no disrespect to either of the presidential candidates. Biden did drop out. Kamala's taken his place. But dang, dude, like that could have been a disaster. Just wild, just absolutely wild stuff. That's really all I got to say about it, other than Kimberly Cheadle is dumb, and she resigned. Hooray. Let's get into some more comments. Let's see. Let's go on my most recent video, why manga is destroying American comics. I appreciate the support on these smaller videos, because these are the kinds of things that I like to talk about. I like to do. Let's see. Pebness again, Nox Locke says. I don't know what that means, but sure. Zelda and JoJo for life. Thank you. This was a banger video. Thank you, Potato Farmer Gyro 1720 and Gaelic C for the Zelda and JoJo for life comment. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Sammy7335. I don't know. This video felt quite a bit unfocused and didn't really convince me of an answer to your posed question. I don't think the thesis of this video really matches with the evidence you provided. I suppose that makes me a cat. In that video, I said the cats are the more critical and picky in the audience, and the dogs are the more supportive and friendly. I think you had good points about people's media expectations being higher, but I don't think much of this video really helped your greater points of East and West media. Now, that part I disagree with. I do think the video at times was a little tangential and unfocused, but I don't know. I mean, all of it kind of relates. You know, I talk about Bakugan, and Bakugan was like a kid's show. It was like the next generation of Pokemon. You know what I'm saying? Nothing could ever reach the heights of Pokemon, but Bakugan got damn close. Not damn close. It got decently close. Beyblade as well got decently close, farther than anything else. Those two really were the only ones to reach the heights of Pokemon, or reach. You know, they're the closest ones to Pokemon is what I'm trying to say. And Digimon, I don't really know. 90s kids, let me know about Digimon, if that really did anything. Did not mean to take a screenshot there on my iPad. Yeah, I don't know. You know, things like bad animation like Family Guy, you know, people who don't like Family Guy are people who are more likely to watch anime, you know what I'm saying? And anime is getting more popular, which I guess kind of means that Family Guy might not be as popular. You know, when I watched Family Guy with my friends at school, back when I was still in college, which is scary to say, I'm going to have a freaking liver disease soon. I'm already one divorce through. We're, you know, we only watched maybe like the first couple seasons of Family Guy, or like we didn't watch any of the new stuff. And oh my God, dude, have you seen The Simpsons lately? I was watching with BBC Vlogs and Eli. Shout out to you guys. I was watching Treehouse of Horror, the new Simpsons Treehouse of Horror. Dude, what do they have those people doing, dude? It was horrible. They were doing, I don't know if it was a parody. It didn't seem like a parody. So that alone, not being clear on whether it's a parody or not, is already a big mistake. They were talking about crypto and NFTs like, or the blockchain. Oh, they were treating it like the internet, dude. It was like, you know, like you're going surfing on the internet, you know, what's a web page, you know, or not even that, just welcome to the internet. Whoa, you know, like Ralph Breaks the Internet, like there, whoa, that's YouTube, and it's like a castle with like cats coming out of it, and it's like, oh, over there's Twitter, and it's a bunch of like, you know, no life grease balls. No, I'm just kidding. That's Reddit. Twitter just has a bunch of angry reactionary people, and I guess that would be like, what do we call that? That's like the Detroit of the internet. There's so much crime on that app, and I'm not just talking about human trafficking and OnlyFans models and live leak stuff, gore and death and actual pornography and people fighting at each other's throats, people trying to make quips at each other and not actually being that funny. Well, I guess I don't know, dude. I was saying I'm not talking about this and this and this and this and this, and I just named like 15 things. So that's Twitter for you. Twitter users are a different breed. If you're out there fighting on the Twitter battlefield, I salute you. Just please be careful. You know, again, like Detroit, you can go there, visit and tour and stuff. Just don't go into any alleyways, really. Just stay on the front page or on Main Street, and I think you'll be fine. Now, what was I even talking about? So this Treehouse of Horror thing, they were like, oh, like there's the blockchain, and it's like a virtual world, and it was just the most cliched thing ever. Again, I don't think it was like a parody. It was just cringe. It honestly was just cringe, and that's the worst. You do not want to be cringe ever, because that means you're trying really, really hard, and you're still not getting a return. Like, cringe is like, you know, trying hard, kind of showing your hand, and because of that, you just kind of seem pathetic and desperate. Or, I don't know, because like that's the difference between like based and cringe, right? Based is just doing it with your chest out and not giving a crap, you know, just doing it, you know, whatever, high confidence. And cringe is the same exact thing, but no confidence. Confidence is key. Can't say it enough. So, yeah. It honestly, this Simpsons episode, it also bothered me personally because I know I've been learning a lot about like crypto and all that kind of stuff, and NFTs, and I think it gives NFTs a bad look because a lot of people look at it and go, oh, stupid Bored Apes, stupid this and this and this, but the basic idea of NFTs, I'm not going to go on a tangent, so you don't have to skip or anything. It's a lot more dense than just Pokemon cards on the computer. It's about digitizing assets. You have the real world and you have the digital world, and you go between them. But certain things don't really transfer between them, like a physical movie and a digital movie. You need a license for the digital movie. You don't there's no way to actually have like a file that says this is a movie, like holding a tape and saying this is one copy of the movie. The NFT is the way to solve that. It's the way to say this is one copy of the movie. And The Simpsons just took a big old steamy donut all over the whole thing. And it's another thing too about like the internet. People, they look at the internet and it's like, oh, the internet is where you go and you type in stuff and you look up stuff, and it's like, yes and no. The internet is not one thing. It's a nexus, or whatever you want to call it. It's like society. You can't hold society in your hand. Society is made up of every single person working in tandem. You got the government, and you got the industry, and you got the farmers, and you got the citizens, and you got the this and this and this. That's how the internet is. You have the people who hold the information, the people who just there's so many different things. Anybody who's connected is the internet. So if there were two people left on Earth and they were just sharing information through satellites, that's the internet, man. It is. So you can't, people are, oh, the internet's going to get blown out by a solar death ray or the, whatever. Not necessarily. There's always going to be networks and things like that. The internet, there's all kinds of deep web stuff out there. I mean, the government has private networks. Your work has private networks. Your school has private networks. Child traffickers and drug traffickers and, all kinds of, traffic lights. They all have their own private networks. That's all the internet. It doesn't have to be, in the same building. It can be in the same neighborhood, and the neighborhood could be considered the internet. That was a little bit of a tangent. So let's move on to another comment. Oh, this is a really nice comment from Blackboy8200. Luke, you're slowly making content that a channel with millions of subscribers would produce. Highly underrated, and I can't wait to be on this early journey of major success, bro. Thank you for making enjoyable content. Prayer 100 emoji. These kinds of comments, they're really nice, and I love them, and it makes me feel good. But that is not all. They also tell me, and I've said this before, they tell me that there is a ceiling that I have yet to reach, I'm going up and up and up, and if people stop saying that I have room to grow, then it kind of manifests itself, because I have to believe that I can grow, and I have to believe in my content, and I have to make good content that people want. But when I get the feedback that you're going to grow, you're going to explode, you're going to, this and this, it's like an affirmation that really just kind of solidifies that journey. So yeah, I really appreciate that, Blackboy8200. Yeah, really, really kind words, and just reassuring me that this whole thing is not for nothing. Let's see what else we got. Comment from the last podcast. Who commented on the last podcast? Let's see. Can I even get in there? Let's see. Man, hearing my voice back is really quite nice. It kind of drowns out the fact that people might be listening in on me. Let's see what we got. Audience. Can I really not access my comments from this? Is it because there's one comment? Oh, 2 people unsubscribed during the last podcast. Well, screw you guys. What do we got here? Come on. Let's see. Well, let's see if I can get the other old podcast on here. See what we got. Reach. Is it a reach? Oh, that's my dog barking downstairs. Audience. No. Revenue. No. Wow. I guess I can't. Well, you know what? I'm just going to go on actual YouTube and look at these. Yeah, you guys who listen to the podcast are really the real ones. I highly, highly appreciate it. Because this is just, I want to talk about anything and everything, man. And y'all are here for it. So I really seriously appreciate it. Wow. Can't look at the comments on this one. Oh, I can. Real 1312. Y'all crazy ass farm is pissing me off. Yeah, that was what was that? Yeah, that was our freaking huge farm. This was on the last podcast. It was Minecraft. Me and Jacob were talking about movies. Jacob might be coming back for some future podcasts, by the way, because he seemed really into it. So hopefully that works out. But yeah, thanks for your criticism of our Minecraft farm that I didn't even build. I have not played on that world very much at all. It is just a lot of people playing, and I'm not. I'm kind of slacking because, I'm doing this. Let's go. Telecast number 6, The Future, from Temafrey Sleeks. Temafrey Sleeks. Hey, can't go wrong with this kind of video. I appreciate you, bro. Keep it up, my guy. And I said to the camera, thanks, bro. I appreciate it. Kojo AC says, I'm number 1. Nah, I'm number 1. I just subscribed. I love the format. Sweet. Thank you, man. Well, format's getting better. We're like really being a legit pod now. Kind of crazy. You got this light, pull this light over here. You don't see any podcast doing this. This is my ring light. Oh, by the way, I am using my Razer webcam because my Canon camera that I paid like $600 for used, which means it's probably worth, I don't know, close to $1,000 with all the other stuff I got with it, got for it over time. That doesn't work unless you want to pay a monthly fee. So I ain't doing that, I said. Let's see. Jeff Biden, a returning subscriber. Man, dude has commented on this channel quite a few times. Let's read some Jeff Biden comments. Prom King and Queen campaign video. Did you win or no? I did not win Prom King, but my, at the time, girlfriend did get Prom Queen, which was crazy. She was, I was just like, hey, like, let's do it. Come on. She was like, okay, all right, let's do it. And it ended up being one of the best things that, I guess one of the best things she ever did on a whim, because she ended up getting Prom Queen, man. It's kind of funny. And Prom King was won, I feel like I responded to this before. Prom King was won by Owls, the winner of the 200 subscriber special t-shirt. By the way, we're doing this now. I do have a merch store, and I am going to pull it up on the pod. Just a quick little plug for my merch. Now, you guys can buy it, but I'm not telling you to go buy it because I don't want you to buy it because I said so. I want you to buy it because you want it. I know it's not the greatest merch. I'm getting there. Some of it looks better than others of it, but let's just... Can I pull this up and just do this as a window capture? Yeah, some of my merch is not the greatest in the world, but some of it is. So, I don't know. All right, here we go. Yeah. I am kind of revealing my things here, but let's see. So, yeah, we got Static Shock t-shirt. Just made that again. It's all right. It's a little goofy, but I think it's cool. I don't know. I think it's really cool. This one I think is very cool. I made this. It's like a Nautilus spiral shirt, and then I got these ones classic. It's got the old channel logo on the back, the channel profile picture on the front, and then a sticker if you want to spend $5 on a sticker because Teespring charges a lot for stickers. So that's my merch shout out. There's no discount code because it is as cheap as I can get it. If I were to apply a discount code, I would be making negative money on it. So, yeah, very cool. And then, let's see. Why is my hair all messy? Jeff Biden asked on one of the JoJo's Bizarre Adventure icebergs. What? Bro's gotten 12 hearts. That's crazy. He's a top commenter on this channel. My hair was messy because... Why was it messy? Let me see. Because I needed a haircut. That's why. just like right now, I was going to get a haircut today, but didn't end up working out because they didn't have any openings. Sad. It's fine. Let's look at podcast number 5. Kaigemi, Kaigemi, Kigemi. Y'all are dope, bro. This is such a good, genuinely nerdy conversation, bro. Keep up the great work, fellas. Thank you. This is me and Brady Roops. Shout out to Brady. Brady Rupert commented on that as well, and Jeff Biden actually commented and said, "Isn't JoJo's Bizarre Adventure hype completely dead after Part 6 in Netflix?" Nah, dude. JoJo's continuing on. Steel Ball Run is going to be insane. Going to bring lots of new fans to the channel. Let's see. We got another comment about JoJo from Ellie7252 on the old podcast with me and Eli. My favorite part in JoJo is where Jordan Joestar uses his stand, "Oh, You Went," featuring Drake, to telemarket advertisements to people by stealing their information online. What? I don't remember this. What? Oh, Ellie's also a repeat commenter. Let's see. JoJo only became more comedic in Part 3, where it gained the less ongoing narrative. That is more... What is it? That is more Villain of the Weekish. Before, it had several phases. It became with character drama, then became horror action. After Part 3, we started with a more lighthearted tone before digging into seriousness. Then in Part 5, there's hardly any comedy scenes, focusing entirely on being a combat manga. Finally, in the original continuity, you have Part 6, which in my opinion is a perfect balance of comedy, drama, and action. Yeah, I don't know. That keeps going on for a little bit. Let's see. The only fights that felt not entirely necessary were Green Baby and parts of the Awaiting New Moon arc, as near the end, Araki slipped into his Monster of the Week habit a bit more again. All in all, I feel as though Part 6 perfectly balances its storytelling as the best part in the original continuity. That is a hot take, that JoJo Part 6 is the best in the original continuity. That, I don't know if I can agree with that, but I also haven't watched the series in a while, because I need to watch something other than JoJo for Pete's sake. Pete. Let's see. Let's go for a handful more comments. Let's go on the first podcast ever and see who commented on that. This was a long time ago, man. This was a very, very long time. Playlists. Oh, that's right. We have a playlist for this. Go check out the playlist for the podcast, by the way. The first episode is actually far more produced than most of the other ones. This is the most produced by far, but nope, no comments on the first one. What about number 2, where we were talking about Barbenheimer? Challen Evil YT. Oh, hey, that's Harry. Shout out to Harry Lynn. First to watch. Where's your OnlyFans? Harry asks. Eventually, maybe we'll do an OnlyFans. I was actually thinking of doing a Patreon, not for our M-rated content, but yeah, for other stuff like early release videos and things like that. Maybe merch discounts. Let's see. Alas, Halloween is dead. F. Sigh. From Thomas Griffin 420 on podcast, Telecast episode 3, Halloween in the 2000s. Thank you very much. And that is all of the Telecast comments. We will, maybe I'll find some more hate comments. I know there were a handful that were just extremely, extremely nasty that I wish I could have run into while I was doing this. But yeah, I don't know, man. And Super Scary Puma commented during the podcast, "This is amazing, WTF." Thank you. You're amazing for commenting. Really appreciate it. Our numbers have been up lately. We are really raising the baseline here. Getting a lot of views now, a lot of comments, a lot of likes and things like that. Whatever. If you are a fan of the channel, then convert your friends. No, seriously. I don't know. If your friends are into this kind of stuff, then share my channel with them. If not, it's totally fine, man. I'm not forced you to do anything, man. No, but if you like the podcast, check it out. If you want this podcast to be on like Spotify or something, maybe I'll do that. I don't have any sponsors or anything, so I don't really see a reason to put it on Spotify. I don't know how their monetization works, but if any of you do, then let me know. And yeah, if you have any other comments or anything, I kind of want to read comments in every podcast. That'd be fun. Or maybe just do a special every once in a while. I don't know. Just leave any comments down below. Anything that you want to see me cover, anything that you want to see anybody else, anything you want anyone else to see, Let me know. New video is in the works now. I took a little break because I wasn't feeling super motivated, but now I got a really cool video coming up. It's not going to get crazy views, I don't think, but it is going to be a passion project, and I'm going to put a lot of effort into it because I love both of the movies that I'm going to be covering in it. There's a little sneak peek for you. So with that all out of the way, guys, I will see you in the next video. Peace. All right. Peace for real. Goodbye.